Right.
I will call the meeting to order. There's a couple of people online. I'm not sure who they are. Moto G6 XT 1925. Do you want to just unmute yourself and identify who you are?
James Kahn.
Oh, hey, James, how you doing?
Good, you?
Good. All right, and who is
I'm not
CKJ?
gonna ask that again, are you?
Chad.
You know,
Oh,
who-
Jesus. Yep, I'm gonna ask it every time. Short
ahead,
span
OJ.
memory here. All
Good
right,
evening.
good evening, Chad. Sorry.
Chad,
Hello.
All right, I'll call the meeting to order. We don't have minutes yet from last week, which is fine. Is there anything, Butch, that you wanted to bring up?
No, nothing, there's nothing that's happened in the last week that required me to put together a report unless you guys something specific you want to talk about. We do have a couple of things that we need to talk about in non-public. Other than that, it's just a regular night. I mean, I don't have anything.
Okay,
did you check with Jonna to make sure we didn't have any encumbrances that needed to be done before the end of the year?
Nobody has come forward with any encumbrances, including the board. So right now we're saying no, and we've made it known to the department heads. So I think we're good. So
Perfect.
all right.
the only thing I will say, the final budget hasn't gone to the budget committee. It will tomorrow unless something happens tonight. Jonna was under the impression we had to wait till tonight, but it's fine. So it'll go out first thing in the morning. They have a budget already, but she's going to resend it in its official final form. So
Entirety, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and did she fill in for the, because what I got most recently was just the operating budget. Has she
The
done
operating.
the capital reserves and warrant articles yet?
Not warrant articles because we're still discussing that, I think, tonight when we don't have the total figures. We can discuss that. Maybe that's a thing I should broach the subject and we don't have updated numbers.
Right.
I'm going to suggest to the board that it's been about 2.5 years that we go 3% a year, go 6% on the figure we got is probably going to be more than adequate. Nate feels that it's, from conversations he had a few weeks ago, it's going to be close to the number that from back then. But if we want to be safe, we could and do a warrant article with that number at 6. I'm saying 6%. You can pick anything else just for inflation.
Has Nate called them?
He
Butch?
has, and they said they'd get back as quick as they could, but there was a holiday and COVID, so
Oh, maybe this,
that could be next week.
Yeah.
We have time. We have time to wait for more
It's up to
concrete.
you guys. I'm just bringing it up. You have time. That's.
We put in a placeholder, but we have time before we send it on. So
Did we put in a money amount for the placeholder?
1.6.
We did. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to come in that ballpark.
I agree.
I think the last time it was like 1.38 or close to 1.4.
It was 1.44.
Oh,
Yes.
4. So that's, I guarantee you that's more than enough. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I'm good with the placeholder of 1.6 until we have more concrete numbers.
Okay. So we'll do that as a placeholder and we'll let the budget committee know that that number could be updated, or by the time I think they usually do warrant articles at the end anyway. So,
And now we all know that we're talking about water meters, but I don't know if everybody else does. So I'm just going to throw
Oh.
that in there.
okay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I noticed that on the budget committee schedule that's not the case this year. Usually they do that last. This year, capital reserves are scheduled for January 14th.
We're still in good shape.
Which is fine. We'll,
Yep.
hopefully we'll have a number by then. I'm going to plan to attend that budget committee meeting.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know if they want me to present anything or just be there to answer questions, but either way, I'll be there with the full CIP report and
I intend to log on as well, but I don't need to. You can cover it all.
right. And I shouldn't say be there. I'll be online on Zoom. We're not
Yeah.
meeting in person. So, all right. And I know John had sent out an email about that CARES money.
okay,
We've-
yeah, and you saw my email, we're proceeding, the $90 for postage seemed to be the only outstanding. So we're gonna take care of it and pretty much, the checks were written today as you guys had proposed and.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. And we'll close that account out. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my email to Jonna, but I basically said the same thing that you said to her. As you were writing it, I was writing it. And after I
Okay.
pressed send, I read yours. So I mean, it's like,
Okay.
okay,
Well,
well,
that's awesome. I mean, I
easy.
figured there was no sense beating it back and forth. It pretty much was a decision, so we just went with it. Yeah.
So, all right. And I know there's a couple of, well, in non-public tonight, I want to talk about that countersuit with South Peak.
Yeah, and I
Yep,
just got an email from our attorney regarding that.
Yeah, and we'll
so-
talk about that in non-public. I
Yeah.
want to talk about the latest from David Azarian on the landing, any
Yep.
follow-up issues with that, and
Mhm.
then a personnel issue.
Yep.
So, Tammy, do you have anything else in public?
No, I don't. Not tonight.
Jane?
No, are you both going to be there for every public hearing with the budget committee?
The
With
public
every-
hearings, the public hearings.
Not the
absolutely.
public hearing, with the budget committee meetings, you're going to be there?
I am
All of
not.
them?
I'm
I
not.
don't know. It really depends on how busy I am and what's going on.
Okay.
I will be there for the Capital Reserve on the 14th and then the public hearing on February 4th. Those two are on my calendar.
Those the only two on my calendar as well, right now.
And I'll have myself, Johnner, and the respective department heads at every meeting that that their budgets are being talked of, so.
Yep.
Should be plenty.
All right, then I'll open it up for public participation. Is there anybody who wanted to speak to the board? Chad, do you have anything to update us on or anything?
No, I think we're good right now. I didn't have anything prepared and nothing that's a hot button topic, so I think we're good.
Hey, do you have, for the guys when they're directing traffic, do you have those, I don't know what you call them, but they're the lit batons?
Yeah, we do. We have the batons and they have a like a safety yellow cone that goes over them, so it glows that like that bright safety yellow color.
Okay. I just saw someone directing it out at Loon and it was right at the cusp of, is it dark enough? Is it not dark enough? So long as you have them, I'll trust their judgment when to use them.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I know it is hard from a driver's perspective. We're standing in the road thinking that everybody can see us, but that's not the case at times. So yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that.
Yeah. No, you could definitely see him because he had a reflective vest on and other the reflective part, it was the hand motion. When your headlights are on someone and you're facing them, you could see like the hand moving. You can't tell if he's waving you to come or waving you to stop.
Right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
So I always assume he's telling me to go.
You hope.
So, all right. Any other public comment tonight?
No,
I do.
sorry.
Okay, I don't know. Was that Dave or Jim?
It's me, Jim.
Okay, go ahead.
Town hall's closed, right?
Correct.
How can you guys justify people going into the solid waste facility and still paying in the office for stuff? If you can't go into town hall?
How were you doing it before? When there was a time when you could not go into the office at the solid waste facility, and I apologize, I don't go there only as often as I have to. So how did you do it before? Did you just, was there no paying? Was there no tipping?
No, they were still paying. They still came in the office.
So was there not a time at all since last March that the office was closed to the public at the solid waste facility
Nope,
at all?
at all.
Butch, could you talk to?
Which office is Jim talking about?
The
The
office.
solid waste office.
The solid waste office.
How about, Butch, can you talk to Nate, have Nate talk to the guys at the solid waste facility? See how they're feeling about this and what they want to do as far as where their comfort level is. But let's go through Nate to get that done.
Yep, we'll do that tomorrow. That's the first I've heard there's an issue, but we'll check on it tomorrow.
Well, there may or may not be an issue. This was just a question on why, and we don't have an
Yep.
answer to that, but we will get one.
Do you have any suggestions, Jim, that you want us to bring to Nate?
Maybe open, because they got a couple windows in there. You can go through the window where people are not in the office,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a small space. It's a real small space in there. You know, if they can take a screen out maybe and go hand something through the office and have some wipes and whatever to sanitize stuff, pens, clean pens, dirty pens.
So can I,
Yep.
Jim, just to clarify, is your concern that people are in the office or they can't go in the office?
Well, they're in the office. You know, that would be a concern for everybody, especially in that tight little office.
Okay, all right, the current staff has not complained about that, but we'll check
Yeah,
first
but
thing.
that makes sense. I honestly, I haven't paid for
I
anything.
mean,
that-
they shouldn't have to complain about it if you can't go into town hall. You know, yes, I've moved on and I work in Plymouth now. And nobody's allowed in the office at all. And they do stuff through the windows, and masks are required outside at all times.
It was a really good suggestion, Jim,
Yeah.
because I honestly,
And I'm not, it's just, you know, this stuff's way out of control now than it was back in March.
yeah.
you're right.
It's way worse now. And I just hate to see anybody get it.
No, we'll check first thing in the
agree.
morning, Jim.
Yeah,
No
I
problem.
would agree with that. I was, I haven't been to the Lincoln dump for payment things, but I was in Lisbon last month, right around Thanksgiving, and they do the same thing, that I stood outside to write a check and passed it through the window, and they passed me the bill and et cetera.
That's the same thing as Campton Thornton. It's all.
There's no reason we can't do that.
Nope, I agree. I'll check first thing in the morning. Yep.
Yeah,
Let's do
thank
that.
you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, then this is going to be a quick public meeting tonight. I'm going to make a motion that we go into non-public to discuss the litigation with South Peak, the litigation follow-up, but still litigation related with the landing, and then one personnel issue.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye. Jane, you're muted, but we need to hear.
I know, I'm muted.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks.